to see details of us shooting people in the face. Alright, we'll go here. Alright, so at this point, my teammate Roscoe, good guy, wonderful guy, gets a knock on one of their guys, and I'm like, you know what, screw it, we're pushing off this. Because I already killed one of them, so now it's 3v3, and then he gets a knock, so now it's, well, technically at the time it's still 3v3, but it's 2v3. So, let's pop this open. Let us pause it here. Alright, so at this point I'm coming upstairs. Like this is, by the way, to break it down for like the people that are kind of newer to PUBG and who have, you know, far less hours than myself and a lot of the other, you know, I'd say quote unquote top tier players. This is so that people get like an understanding of like what they need to do to pull off these type of situations. So let's continue it. I'm gonna do it a little bit slower than normal. So at this point here, I saw the guy's leg, and so automatically, obviously, I know he's about to peek, so I'm keeping it on the door for him because, you know, this is pretty simple. Anybody that's playing an FPS, you want to hold your corners, and this is, you know, the guy's right there, so we're gonna hold that corner. So now he pops out. Now, I do not actually believe I hit him. As you can see, his health from where it was before to where it is now, like, it just isn't there. In fact, actually, I think what happens is, like I said, there's weird spectator bugs. Like, I'm 99% sure I did not hit him at that point. It's been like an hour or so since this happened, so I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. But the second shot you see there, I completely whiff it. That's just what happens. I whiff it. If I had hit it, then he'd be down. But I didn't. So we'll continue. So at this point, this guy kind of doesn't, like, he's kind of peeking back in. I'm reloading because my teammate told me to back off so he could hold. And I'm taking an energy drink because, you know, I don't want to go in, you know, with less health than I need. You know, it's just, I don't find it necessary to do that. So I'm pushing back up. I'm holding the corner. And in a moment, we're going to hear the pin of a smoke grenade pull because my teammate says, hey, I'm going to throw a frag in. Now, he realizes that he pulls out smoke. See, there's a smoke. You hear the cue of the smoke. Puts it away, as you can see there. And then you hear the grenade pin pull. They have different, the way that they pull, when you pull them, they have different sounds. The thing here I want you to see is this frag grenade right here on the ground is actually, it's so important in this play that I picked up this frag grenade. If I hadn't picked up this frag grenade, I probably wouldn't have been able to pull this off at all. At all. It just wouldn't have happened. You'll see later on why. But this is why I am so, like, whenever people ask me about, like, grenades and stuff like that, I always sit there and I say the frag grenades, like, literally like in, you know, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it is the holy hand grenade. It is literally what will win you games and win you fights and break stalemates. Because people used to sit there and say, well, in third person, people sit behind trees all the time. You know what you do to people that sit behind trees? Throw freaking grenades at them. It just kills them, you know, because that's what grenades do. So we'll continue playing it. So I pick up the grenade. Real quick pause. I should bring up the fact, the reason why I came up here is because when we were originally fighting them and we got the pick, we saw one of the guys up here. I wanted to make sure that before we pushed into that room, which my teammates are doing now after the grenade goes off, that there was nobody going to be behind us. Now, actually, at one point, if you see us coming up the stairs, you actually see somebody downstairs in there. It's just, we were all like, you know, hey, just rush up there, take him out. They actually had a third teammate, and he comes in, you know, and helps out his teammate. You know, you'll see in a moment. So we'll continue. So they're in there. My teammate Roscoe gets a knock on the guy. But while this was happening, we didn't know. I'm gonna pause it here. That shotgun sound you hear actually is no shotgun going off. I think it's because he fired a shotgun before, and it's just, I don't know what's up with the spectator today. But right now it happened basically. Actually, I can. Yeah. Let's do this. All right. So Yeah, as you can see, his dead body's getting shot again out of nowhere. I'm using green blood, by the way, because on Miramar it makes things a lot easier. And if you're curious as to how you do it, just, I don't know, I'll maybe put it in the YouTube description for those of you who don't know, and those of you who want to see alien blood when you're shooting people. All right, so real quick, I run in, right? Now, both my teammates had been in here for a few seconds before I came in. So, to me, I kind of expected them to have checked the bathroom, seeing that they just killed a person there. So, I automatically assumed, which was wrong of me, that my teammates had cleared the bathroom as well. And as you can see here, with his ump sticking through the door, the bathroom was not cleared. And very bad. So, I run in because I see him over here. And I'm like, okay, we got to just double check, make sure, all these rooms are clear. I thought they already checked the bathroom. Again, I made a mistake. My teammates made a mistake as well. We all made a mistake. And people die because of it. It happens. We're all prone to mistakes. Just got to work through them. Just got to make sure, hey, get it ingrained in your head when you're moving through rooms and you're moving through buildings. Check every room. Check behind doors. Don't just open a door, look for loot, and go, okay, there's no loot. Check everything. Automatically assume that there's always somebody in a building or always somebody in a room, because if you do that, you're going to win most of your fights when you're coming into there, because if you're already ready to shoot, you're not going to get cut off guard because you're ready to shoot. Now, is it going to happen every time? No, because, they're trying to use the element of surprise. So let's go back to my view and let's play. So again, I see him there. I'm just double checking here. And all of a sudden I hear shooting. I'm like, what's going on? So let's pause. When I turned around, I thought the guy that was in front of me was my teammate. Now, remember, obviously, we have like the little dots over our heads. And I think what happened was the guy decided to come out of the bathroom over here and like chase down my teammate, which you see him right here. This is the guy that chased down my teammate. And this is the one that was downstairs hiding. So he gets kind of sandwiched. I'm not in any way, shape, or form able to help. And my teammate only sees this guy. Doesn't see this guy. I think he had the same thing going through his head when he saw the other dude. When we saw the dude walking in front of the door, we saw the tag above his head. So we automatically assumed that it was our teammate. Bad visual cues. Sometimes you make mistakes. Again, this isn't just about, oh, this is like the greatest play I've ever made. It's a pretty good play I made. But at the same time, there's mistakes in there. There's mistakes that got us into the situation that, we were in. So at this point, I believe... Yeah, at this point, I had killed none of them. My teammate had killed... Well, I already killed one of them, as you can see. But in the fight itself, I had killed none of them. So we're going to go back to my view, do this, play. So... Oh, wait, no, wrong person. Stop, you bastards. Okay, we're going to go back a little bit because I fucked up. It's too far back. Okay, that's good enough right there. Okay. First of all, put it on me, please. Thank you. All right, so I guess we can just look at this real quick. So again, like I said, he saw him, so he turns the corner to get him. Now, this guy's already like... Look at this idiot. This guy's back turned towards me. He's going to get knocked. This guy actually focuses on finishing off my other teammate, which is actually not smart. A lot of times you don't want to finish their teammates right away because, for example, if he came out and actually hit him in the head with a pumpy shot, odds are he'd been dead, knocked out too. And then it would have been a 1v1 rather than the situation I get put in, which is a 2v1. So we're going to go back here, pop this up, press play. So he gets knocked. My teammate's already dead. I go to take a shot. You see me, chambering the next round. I fired the shot. You just don't see it for some reason. I don't get, like I said, the spectator, client's really weird. So we're gonna, play it. I'm gonna peek down at the bottom of the stairs. Boom. Get him. Boom. Finish. I go to reload. Mind you, when I started these fights, I only had 10 shotgun shells in my, 5 in my inventory and 5 in my gun. So when you see the end of like the clip, you'll understand why I feel like this was like a pretty good one. Now, at this point, you know, the teammate backed off to heal, and he's already healed. He's coming back up, and I'm going in the room to reposition because, you know, staying in the same spot, like if he's gonna automatically assume I'm up here. So like when we play this here, see, like he's already ready. He's already, you know, aiming up here. One thing I do want to point out is that this guy right here on team 17 is not on his team. There's actually another team rolling up on us as we're about to fight. And this is what makes it so like such an interesting fight, because we ended up getting into like, you know, two separate teams, you know, almost killing us. And let's go back here. So now at this point, I am looking around. I'm like, shit, where do I go? Where's a good spot set up? I'm like, okay, this spot. Boom, peek out, and I launch him. As you can see there, he's spinning around and going, flailing everywhere. I launched his ass. I tell my teammate, get in the bathroom, crawl in the bathroom, because I hear the other team pulling up. I hear more footsteps. I hear like I think I heard 2 or 3 sets at the time. And again, delayed, you know, you saw me shoot the guy. So we're going to pause it right here. This part is actually probably the pivotal, you know, play. And not a lot of people like kind of, I don't know why there's smoke in my hand. I think it's because it's hot. So not a lot of people are going to immediately go, I'm being pushed, let me throw a grenade out there. And I guarantee you there's going to be some people, oh, I would have thought of that. But you do realize from the time that I shot the person to me hearing the footsteps was about 2 seconds. And then from me thinking, okay, I hear the footsteps, they're almost here, what should I do? About a second, I figure out, okay, I need to throw a grenade. That way, A, it's going to do one of 2 things. It's going to go, A, they're going to see it and they're going to stop on the stairs, and this will give me time to get over to my teammate and get him up. Now, 10 seconds is a long time to res. I'm just hoping that this grenade deters him enough. So at this point, you know, I'm hoping that it's going to do A. You know, just hold him off. Like kind of like a Molotov in CSGO, you know. You throw it on the ground, kind of stops him from, you know, pushing forward for what I think it's like 10 or 15 seconds or something like that. It's pretty long. Grenades obviously not in the same fashion in this. A Molotov obviously would have worked better. Actually, it might not have, because it could have probably just pushed through it. But anywho, or the other option is B, they're going to run into the grenade and they're going to blow up, which is actually the most ideal scenario, because not only does that mean, you know, I don't have to worry about, you know, however many people are pushing me at the time. It just means, hey, I already have like 1, 2, 3 knocks, or I got all of them, you know, hopefully. That, you know, that'd be great. Makes my life a lot easier, and then I can get my teammate up. So we're going to play it. So grenades out. I'm running. And at the time that I saw him, it was like the lag was kind of like a little bit behind. Like I saw him when I was like right here running in. I saw him like there, like in my corner, like right here. That's where I saw him. And then literally, you know, over comms, you hear me say, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And I run inside. So I'm going to, at this point, oh wait, no, spectating the wrong person, because, you know, that's who I selected. All right, so there you go. So we're going to slow this down a little bit slower. So he's shooting, you know, he's just free firing, expecting me to peek. I'm going to give him a shot. Now, you're probably going to be like, holy hell, what happened? Grenade. Now, grenades, since they updated them months upon months upon months ago, they have like a huge blast radius. And basically, if you're within that blast radius and it has line of sight of you, no matter if it's like a hand, a leg, I think my game just crashed. No, it didn't. A hand, a leg, anything. Anything that's in there. I've seen people like legit with holes like this in the doorway. I've seen people stare at it from like across the room. Like if the grenade went over there and they're like staring at it through this door, it knocks them. Well, it doesn't always knock them. It just kind of blows them back, and then the movement knocks them. So at this point, that grenade goes off, and it has line of sight of both of these guys. Let's see if I can take it back just a little. Okay, I like how we see that. All right, so here's this. We're at 0.25. The grenade's still over here. We're gonna play it. And here's where the grenade is, right? So he's pre-firing right now. This guy goes in. And boom. Like, this grenade is literally about to go off. Like, this little guy... Oh, wait, that's a floor. This little guy right here is about to just launch both of these kids into a world of hurt. And you see, I hit him once with the pumpy, which, you know, obviously I didn't really have much cover. This guy's kind of potatoing in my eyes. Let me see. Where is he aimed at? Yeah, so he's kind of a potato, but that's fine. You know, potato, that's what they do. And we're about to play it, and boom. Now, you see, at this point, they're actually, neither of them are actually knocked. This is what grenades do. I mean, they just kind of launch them. And once they launch them, you know, the physics system in the game, to me, is weird. You know, the fact that you actually get knocked out from the falling rather than actually getting blasted with shrapnel, you know, amazes me. But they were both in line of sight of the grenade. And did I 100% plan for that grenade to knock them in that specific spot? No. Nobody can really predict that. Nobody's going to predict that, oh, they're going to be right here in this doorway and that grenade's going to go off and boom. It's going to make it's going to be a game changer. So, but did I anticipate that the grenade would do something of that similar effect? Yes. And that's the thing that makes this, like, to me, that makes this, you know, fight on my half, like, such as what we call a high IQ play. It's because rather than just sitting there and holding a corner with a shotgun and, you know, waiting for them to push me and then me just shooting them and hoping that, you know, I can kill 3 people or 2 people or, you know, the one person that pushes me all at once, I used my head. I was like, what can I do? What can I do within like a split second to save myself, to make it so that I can, you know, win this fight? So we're going to go ahead, do this. So he falls. That's 2 knocks. So I go to check to make sure that they're knocked, because at the time I didn't really understand that they were both knocked. And as you can see, my teammate's on his last breath, and I get there just in time. This is what makes this clip again, and such, like, to me, such a high IQ play, because, I mean, like, that's nuts right there. So at this point, his teammate is coming up because they're like, what? How do you guys lose to one guy? You guys are idiots. That was delay for some reason on a shotgun. Spectator client. I don't get it. And I hear him coming up. So at this point, I hear him coming up. And by this time, odds are I'm probably getting him up. So, right, we see him about to come up. He comes up. I got my teammate up. And at this point, I go, all right, I know there's another guy pushing. Let's go to my view. I know there's another guy pushing. So what am I going to do is, while my teammate's healing over here on the right, I am going to hold that doorway. Why is that? Because A, it's going to be more difficult for him to get an angle on me. And B, when he does come in through that doorway, I already have cover. My teammate has cover. I'm distracting him away from my teammate so my teammate doesn't get knocked. And we're going to continue with the play. So I'd rewind it back, but it's a little slow. Yeah, I don't want to. So in the doorway, I see him for a split second. And I go, okay, I know he's right there. He's about to push through. And I see his foot again. And there's his hands. Now we go forward. And he's now realizing where I am. Obviously, again, spectator client. I hit him square in the chest. Mind you, this is without a choke. And lo and behold, boom. You know, I don't know where this came from. I don't understand that, because, like, as you can see here, as you can see here, I laid him out flat with like a clear placed shotgun shell. Well, I guess pellets, shotgun pellets to the chest, and he's out. And obviously these guys are dead too because, well, I mean, I killed their last teammate. So it's like, why does breaking this down so important? All right, one, for the newer players, it shows the importance of grenades. Grenades are so situational and they can be used in so many situations that they will save your life. They can turn a bad time into a good time. It turned a 3v1 into a 1v1. And at this point, remember, this guy's like, I obviously don't know what's going through his head. He could be sitting there like, his name's Death Dealer 96. So, he's probably sitting there like, I'm going to kill this guy. I'm the Death Dealer. Oh, I'm so edgy. Like, he's probably all excited. He's probably all about to, like, I'm going to save my teammates. He's not pushing my teammates. I'm going to get this. I'm going to, be the clutch master. And in the meantime, what's going through my head is, I need to hold this spot and make sure that my teammate, make sure that we get out of this alive. I already killed 4 people. Well, killed 2, knocked 2, and got to this point. I'm not losing to this guy. I am not doing that. And even if I lost to that guy, technically my teammate would still be there to, possibly salvage the wreckage, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, I already got this far. You don't want to do that. So again, grenades. Grenades are important. B, positioning. Setting yourself up in a way that, when a person comes into this room to clear, like when I go to clear a room, the first thing I do is I check to the right. Because, like, if I can, go over here and look and see, all right, that's clear. Like, I don't see anybody peeking there. Boom, come over this side, see that there. That's clear. And then boom. This is, like, a really hard angle. Like, to me, I feel like minus, like, this spot maybe is one of the hardest angles to, like, deal with. Because if I'm sitting right here, I'm only, like, the head. Now, yes, people are really good at shooting and people can aim at the head and kill me that way. But at the same time, it's a smaller target. And the smaller target you are, the harder it is to hit. So, knowing your positionings in your, like, the buildings and your rooms is going to make it a huge difference. Sound cues. Sound cues are huge. One of the things that, we heard in the video earlier on is the difference between a smoke grenade and a frag grenade. They make 2 very distinct sounds. And a lot of times, you're not going to sit there and be like, oh, I hear a grenade pin. A lot of times, you're just going to hear the grenade pin, and you're going to be like, oh, shit, he might be throwing a frag grenade, and you're going to be moving out of there, which is a smart thing to do, for the most part. You got to be careful, though, because, for example, if you're in there's only one door out, and they're holding the outside of that, and you hear a grenade pin pull, and you're not sure of the difference between a smoke and a frag, and you hear the smoke grenade one, and you think it's a frag, and you push out of that, you're dead. You're putting yourself into a really bad spot by running out there. So it's important to know, like, the different, frag grenade and smoke grenade cues. I'm trying to think, like, what else is there? I mean, other than that, like, just, being able to think on the fly, getting used to being able to use grenades on the fly. Like, one of the first things I do is when I get into a fight, if, for example, I'm shooting at somebody and they're out in the open and they get behind cover, first of all, I'm a potato because I'm trash. Because I clearly didn't kill the person that's running out in the open, and, boom, I'm bad. But you know what's not bad? Grenades. Grenades aren't bad. Throw frag grenades. Pick up every frag grenade you can. Like, just remember the fact that that one frag grenade I had was the one that was on the roof. If it wasn't for that frag grenade, I would not have probably won that fight. I mean, it gave me a higher chance to win the fight. Could I have won the fight? Yes. It's possible I could have won the fight. But I wouldn't have saved my teammate because I wouldn't have been able to end them as fast. And it just, together, it's like, it's you got to think on the fly. Like, you got to be really quick thinking. It's got to be like muscle memory, basically. You just got to let it, you got to let your mind take its course. You got to be smart about things. Apologize for saying a lot. I'm just doing this on the fly. But I do want to do more of these like breakdown videos. I'd actually love to do more from other people. So like if for example you have a clip that you want, somebody to be like, I want to break this down, but I don't really know how to go about explaining it, and you know, I could probably break it down for you, explain it for you, make a video for it so other people can see, because that's what, the great thing about PUBG is it's such a vast and expansive game. Expanse. Yeah, expanse game. And there's a lot of people that play the game. And I want a lot of people to be able to learn. I want people to be able to understand why, like, for example, I'm probably going to find some clips from, when, pro players do things in tournaments that, win them a fight against the odds. So let's let's call it against the odds, right? You win a fight against the odds. We'll make videos out of it, and that way people can understand. Because it's important for everybody to understand what exactly is going on. So I'm gonna probably cut this off of Twitch and put it on YouTube so that people can check it out. My Twitch is Chocolate Pain, SHOCKLETPAIN. I'll put it in the description. I appreciate if you sit here and watch the whole video and you're like, oh, this is dope. I understand it. This is cool. Go ahead, drop a follow, drop a sub, drop a comment saying, hey, this actually really helps me. Should you do more like this? Because I want to understand, like, I want to be, if I'm doing this, I want to do more to, give you guys something. And if you see something, you're like, well, you know what, you say way too much. I don't like that. I mean, it's something I'm going to work on. But if you see something in the video, you're like, well, I don't really understand what happened in this situation. Can you explain that? I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I can explain that. It's, I want people to understand like everything that's going on. I mean, hell, there might have been something that I missed. I think I covered the major things of the video, the basics of the video that, people should be learning and understanding, especially in PUBG. I mean, this was a pain in the ass to fight. It was actually one of the most fun fights I've had in a while. It was scary because, I mean, like, again, once your teammates go down and you're the last person alive, you're the one that everything's riding on, and you can't buckle under that pressure. You got to have a level head. You got to stay calm. One thing we learned in the military was cool, calm, and collected. Those are the 3 C's. And that way, in any situation, you will come out with a level head, and you'll be able to think about these things. You'll be able to sit there and go, rather than go, oh shit, these guys are coming up against me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Rather than doing that, you're going to sit there and go, you know what? Let's try throwing a grenade at the doorway. And if they come in, hopefully that the grenade will do its work. If they don't come in, good, the grenade's already doing something. It's, a strategic play. And that's what this game's about. And that's one of the things I loved about this game when I first started playing, was that there's so much strategy involved in it. And I want people to get the same joy out of the strategy that I do. Because, in the tournaments, everybody wants to see, we want to see our teams kill the other teams. And, like, cool. Like, I get that. Like, people want to see, Optic beat FaZe, and FaZe beat, E United, and E United died at Nova or something like that. Like, people want to see that. And yes, that's one thing that's great. But we also want to know the strategy behind it, because without knowing the strategy, we can't understand what the pros are doing to make them be so successful. Understand their movements, their driving, their, how are they making it, how are they making it through the circle without being shot at once? It's called radar. But besides the point, we gotta break it down. I want to make sure that, as many people can enjoy it the same way that I enjoy it. So I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody coming by and watching this. If you, again, like I said, if it's too long, let me know. If I'm talking too much, let me know. But again, this is to break it down for you guys, so you can understand what's going on, and hopefully, improve on your gameplay. Because I think everybody needs to improve on their gameplay. I still need to improve on my gameplay. As you saw, I mean, I was missing shots. I think that's my biggest weakness, is missing shots. So, again, I'm Chocolate Pain. I appreciate you guys coming by. If you can, on my Twitch, drop a follow. I stream almost daily. If check me out on Twitter, check me out on YouTube. If you're already watching this video, you're probably watching it on YouTube. So, like it, subscribe it. You're dope. You guys are great for staying this long and watching it. And I hope you all kick ass in your PUBG games. And I appreciate you all.